Hi friends, it's Mr. Alex from Adams Memorial Library, and as you can see, it's a beautiful day here in our neighborhood. And all of these wonderful fall leaves, they really got me thinking. And I thought about this great science experiment that our friends at PBS Kids did using fall leaves. Let me show you what we'll need to do it at home. Okay, so today we're going to do a science experiment using fall leaves. Now, anytime that we don't know something and we want to learn more, that's when we do science. And in order to do science, we need a couple of things. We need to create a hypothesis, which is a guess about what we think is going to happen. We need to do an experiment where we try things out. And we need to record our results so that we can see how our results compare to our hypothesis. Today, our experiment is going to be seeing what the effects of different mixtures using kitchen items have on our fall leaves. So in order to do that, we're going to need a couple of supplies for our experiment. We're going to need some fall leaves, which I have here. And then we're also going to need some containers to put our leaves and mixture in. I have a few here, as well as some labels and a marker so that we can remember which leaves and which mixtures are in which container. Now, in order to create these mixtures, we're going to need water, which will be the base of our mixture, but we also want to pick a couple of things from our kitchen that we think might have an effect on our leaves. So I've picked salt and these lemons. Now, you can try something similar to me, or you can try something completely different. Maybe there's something really interesting in your kitchen that you want to try, and that's great too. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to open up each of our containers, and we're going to add a little bit of water. I'm going to fill mine up a little less than halfway. All right, once we have our water, we need to create our mixture. This first container, I'm going to leave with just the water because I want to see what will happen if there's nothing else in our mixture. Then, in the second container, I'm going to take some of our salt and I'm going to mix that in as well. And in the third container, I'm going to add our lemon juice. Alrighty, so once we've done that, we're going to need to mix up our mixtures by securely putting our lids onto our containers. And then once we're really sure that the lids are on very tight, we're going to give our containers a little bit of a shake to mix up our mixture. Salt. And our water one doesn't need to be shaken. Now we're going to take the lids back off, and we're going to add some of our autumn leaves. I'm going to add about 3 or 4. Alrighty, once our leaves are in our containers, we're going to put the lids back on again, and we're going to label them so that we can remember which is which. So this first container here has just the water. So I'm going to take my marker and my label and label that water. The second one has our salt. So I'm going to label that salt. and stick it on the lid. Finally, our last container has our lemon, so I'm going to label it lemon and stick that on our container as well. Alrighty, so now our experiment is ready to go. But as I said at the beginning of the video, before we can experiment, we have to form a hypothesis, or a guess of what's going to happen. So, using what I know about leaves, about some of the things that we put into our mixtures, I'm going to make my guess. Your guess can be totally different than mine, and the fun part of the science is we get to find out who's right. So, for the water solution, the water mixture, I think that it might start to cause the leaves to decompose. I know that when I'm in my backyard and I see leaves and they're kind of wet, sometimes they start to break down or decompose. And so I think that even though in 2 days, which is how long we're gonna let these set aside, I don't think they'll fully break down. I think they might start to. For our salt mixture, I've seen people make rock candy before, where you take some sort of wire and put it into a mixture of sugar and water. And I think the salt might do something similar, and maybe we'll see some of that breaking down of the leaves, but also maybe with a few salt crystals. And finally, for our lemon mixture, I know that lemon has citric acid in it, which acid is something that we see in acid rain, which causes plants to break down. So I think that this lemon mixture might break down the leaves even better than our water mixture. But we'll see if I'm correct. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take these 3 containers and we're going to set them aside for 2 days to see how the mixtures in the jars affect our autumn leaves. And then at the end of those 2 days, Miss Karen is going to check up on them for me and report back with the results. I hope you try this out at your own home, and remember that no matter what you do and no matter what you try, as long as you figure something out, that's doing science. See you soon. Alrighty friends, so normally we would encourage you to watch the entire video as you're doing your project, but this time, because you might not want to know what happens to my leaves before you try your experiment, this would be a great time to pause the video and set up your experiment for yourself. Then, once you have your experiment set up and you've made your hypothesis or your guesses, then you can come back and see what happened to my leaves.
Hi, I'm Miss Karen, and it's 2 days later, and I'm going to check on how our leaves are doing after 2 days of sitting in their different water mixtures. So we had one that was just leaves in just plain water. We had one set of leaves in water that was mixed with salt, and we had one set of leaves in water that was mixed with lemon juice. And to tell you the truth, they don't look too different from the outside, so I'm going to open it up and see what happened. If you remember, the hypotheses that Mr. Alex had were that the one in water would, kind of get damp and decompose like leaves would outside. The one in salt water, he thought maybe there would be some crystals. And the one in the lemon water, he thought maybe the decomposition would happen faster. So let's find out. So in the one just with water, let's see. Well, the leaves still look pretty good. They feel nice. They look pretty nice. So that was the plain water one. How about the salt water? On the salt water one, looks okay. I think it might be a little bit darker than the leaves that were in the plain water. Well, maybe not. Might just be the different leaves. They feel nice. They feel nice and soft. I don't see any crystals yet, but it's only been 2 days. Let's check the leaves that were in the lemon water. Now this one looks like maybe it's breaking down a little bit. Can you see? A little bit more. Looks like maybe it's losing some color, maybe getting a little brown, but maybe it was just a little brown to start with. Not really sure. That's the thing with science. You can do the experiments a few times to see if anything changes. So we could say, this time We only left them for 2 days. Maybe we can do this experiment again and leave them for longer, see if anything changes more. We could put more water in each jar. We could put more salt in the salt jar and see if anything changes. Scientists do experiments lots and lots of times and see what happens. And even if what we thought happened didn't happen, that's still good science. Then it shows us that maybe our hypothesis was wrong and we should think of something else. So you can keep doing these experiments as much as you would like, and you can tell us what happened. So if you do this experiment, if you would like to let us know what happened when you tried, tell us what you mixed in your water. Tell us what kind of leaves you used or what color leaves you used. Tell us what happened. You can send us photos. You can send it to us at kids@adamslib.org. Thank you for watching, and thank you very much to WQED and to Clearview Federal Credit Union for allowing us to do this series of Inquire Within videos. Now this is the second part of 3, so if you missed the first part, or when you're ready to watch the third part, which will come out next week, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or YouTube to find out about the Inquire Within series and all the other children's programming we're doing. And please do remember that if you want to tell us about your experiment, tell us about your art project, tell us about anything, you can send photos or a message and just say hi to Mr. Alex and me by emailing us at kids@adamslib.org. And we would love to hear from you. So thank you very much for watching. Everybody have a great day. See you later. Bye.